I just finished reading the Fairy Tail manga, and before we start, I'd like to read out my opinion after I just finished watching it in anime. Fantastic. Absolutely sublime. Every scene, whoa, damn it, I already messed up. Every emotional scene hit so well with the plot twist that left me drop my jaw, and the massive callbacks that were hinted from a long time ago felt so satisfying to watch. And up until now, I still agree with this opinion. It's just that after reading the manga, gets a little bit disappointing. Yo, what up boys, 20% girls. 2 weeks ago, I created a video that pissed off the One Piece fans. But now, I am a man on a mission to piss off the Fairy Tail fans too. Because that way, I can unite both fandoms in creating an absolute menace in making a common enemy. I usually make a long scripted video for these, but since I make a big reaction series out of it, I might as well just speak to you guys face to face. So without further ado, let's get to the first reason on why I think this episode, or rather this arc, was a bit of a disappointment. I've noticed that over time, Fairy Tail feels a little less exciting after the 2011 version ended off in such a high note, but when I first watched the 2014 version, I thought it was just as hype. The music was hitting, the animation was sublime, the character design was even better in my opinion, but it didn't take long to realize that something felt wrong. For some reason, I didn't feel the same hype as I did before, and I was wondering why, and it got me thinking, and I realized, oh yeah, because a lot of them were fillers. Okay, that might be a little bit of an exaggeration, but I generally think that the new studio sometimes prolongs the scene so then they could fit the 23-minute quota. So basically what they would do is replay scenes that we've seen before with the excuse of making more context just in case we forgot what the line meant. Take this scene from episode 255 for example. Laxus returns to fight a demon that he previously fought, and the studio said, "Don't worry guys, we're gonna show you a replay of which fight we're talking about in case you forgot." Who would have forgotten that? We literally watched it 2 weeks ago. And even if I didn't, and let's say I watched it 3 months ago, how and why would I forget about a fight that left one of the strongest characters in the entire universe to be disabled? This is a huge moment on why the arc even started in the first place. I would have to be brain dead to forget that. Now the second reason is, well, pretty obvious. The manga is better. When I finished the Tartaros Arc, I truly loved around 4 to 5 fights. But then when I read the manga, literally almost every single fight were my favorites. This arc was just action after action after action, and it got me thinking like, is it because of the animation? I mean, we do see instances of amazing quality, but after thinking about it, it's just that the anime seems a little bit dull. And I don't mean that in a good way, like how My Hero Academia fights are dull, because All Might vs. One for All, one of the biggest fights in all of that anime, is a great example of a good dull fight. Spoilers ahead. Because that scene is literally a fight between who has the strongest punch, and deadass, it was fucking epic. But Sting and Rogue's fight with Giemma just seems so anticlimactic because it feels so slow. And compare that to the manga, you can really feel the impact of each hit, and the last magic shot felt more satisfying compared to the lackluster scene that we see in the anime. Now, I don't want to give you guys this idea that I'm faking these hype reactions that I've been doing, because I don't. I did that for Hunter x Hunter a long time ago, and I've never felt more miserable. If you have seen any of my reactions, you know that I'm usually pretty honest. Like yeah, sometimes I backtrack my opinions because of my bad habit of trying to please everyone, but when I say that I don't like something, I truly say that I do not like that something. The reason why I scream at pretty much every fight scene in the reaction series that you guys watch is because concept-wise, the fights are really good. Concept-wise though, I mean come on, Lucy beat a demon that Natsu was struggling with, Laxus fighting against an entire demon while he's fighting cancer, the Celestial Spirit King against the Underworld King. Just listening to these fight descriptions are giving me goosebumps. But then you watch the fight, and it just doesn't live up to the expectations. Now I can't talk about Laxus' fight obviously because it's an anime original, but let's use the Celestial Spirit King fight. Just look, this seems amazing. I'm already popping a boner from watching this. But as I'm about to feel more euphoria, it goes back to a replay of a scene that most people, including me, don't even care about. Stop trying to make me care about the stupid Celestial Spirit arc. I don't give a fuck about it. You shoving it into my face just kills my mood and kills the Tartaros Arc mood in the first place. Imagine this scenario, right? You're a vanilla tart. And you're a little bit horny. So you browse around your sauce sites, you go to nhentai or hitomi.la or whatever you use. And you find something, the cover looks promising, the girl is hot, the guy is also decent looking, they're taking off their clothes, and you're like, oh shit, I think we're getting somewhere. And they're about to fuck, a fucking ugly bastard comes in and NTR's the main character. Now granted, they do go back to the fight later, but it still kills off the momentum that I had within my head. The thing about fight scenes is that they are almost always better when it's a continuous experience. Why do you think single shot scenes from movies are so popular? Other than it being incredibly impressive for the actors to practice a single scene to perfection, it is also so widespread because it always leaves the viewers in awe. It is created so that you can't take your eyes off of it. You aren't allowed to because it keeps you immersed in the experience, hence the single shot. Okay, let's talk about Erza. I just find it funny imagining a scene where Erza is in Hiroshima in 1945 and she gets fucking nuked by America. Whole radiation deforming her face, and she just goes, "This pain is nothing compared to losing my friends." Now, it shouldn't be a surprise that I'm not the biggest fan of Erza in this arc. And it's sad because overall I still really like her, but I just get a little bit annoyed when someone goes, "Fairy Tail is shit, but at least Erza is a good waifu." Well, that just shows that you don't watch the show, because Erza is included in a lot of shitty moments. Well anyways, since my reaction of that moment garnered a lot of comments, I just thought maybe it's best if I just answer them. That way I can satisfy all of y'all's curiosity. And yeah, everyone is happy. The thing about Erza is that the first time we see her, she carried a giant tooth about 3 times bigger than her with one hand. She was always extremely physically powerful and durable. She has her artificial eye, yeah, good shout, which could explain the blindness. As for why she is so unusually strong, that goes back to her lineage, which is revealed in the last arc. Okay, I'll give the benefit of the doubt. What stopped Erza from beating Kyoka was pain rather than not enough strength, but she just shanked through it to beat her. Although the official explanation for why she could tell where she is the sixth sense, the idea is that when you are blind, your hearing and smell is stronger. If she lost all of them, the only thing left is the sixth sense. There are other excuses that could be made. They are less believable, like pain not being actual damage. It's a mental signal to your brain that indicates danger and injury. Simply increasing the pain doesn't increase the damage. Thing is that Fairy Tail doesn't show explanations right away. Something will happen and reactors will lose their minds, but the explanation will either be in the last season or you just gotta put 2 and 2 together. You say it's poorly explained, but I think that's a good thing. I don't want to show spoon feeding me everything. That makes it hype/interesting when I found out later what actually happened. There's a lot of explanation here, like her awakening her sixth sense confirmed by the creator, her artificial eye playing a part in that, which makes sense, I agree, or something about her body which is explained in the last season. Okay, if I got slapped and couldn't see, I would know the slap came from right in front of me and start swinging. Erza was stronger than Kyoka from the start of an arc, so even if she grew stronger by the second, we don't know if she closed that gap. Now there's nothing wrong with having a scene that will only get explained by the later seasons of the anime. I mean, Attack on Titan is a huge example of that. The last season literally changes everything we know about the first 3 seasons. But there's a difference between that and just straight up poor explanation. The reason why Attack on Titan works and this moment doesn't is because Attack on Titan leaves a lot of clues beforehand. Now before that, hold on. Let me just finish. Animes like Attack on Titan and Fullmetal Alchemist plant seeds early on that is very made clear to the audience. So when a character does something that goes against the logic within the setting, it doesn't seem like plot armor because it has been established beforehand that these characters are different because of reason A and reason B. Eren doing something out of the ordinary is not plot armor because we've seen him doing something completely batshit crazy from the 4th episode. So every time he does something new, it is like discovering another piece of the puzzle. Now going back to Erza, people like to mention the 6th and 7th sense as an explanation as to why she won. And that would have been fine, but it's just never been established before. Anything, not one single scene in Fairy Tail has ever mentioned anything about these types of senses. But now all of a sudden, it becomes an important tool to one of the biggest fights ever. And yes, there's a world of magic, I shouldn't apply real life logic into it, but with an explanation that vague, with no confirmation, I'm bound to be confused. But Toby, the author himself, confirmed that it is because of the sixth sense. Okay, that just kind of makes it worse, doesn't it? If you're an author making a story, and you provide the explanation without it being inside the story, and instead explain it off screen, like in interview or Twitter or whatever he's on or whenever he did it, I think you kind of failed your job. As a viewer, I nor you shouldn't be obligated to check the author's discography to find out what happens in the story. Like, that's just wrong. You don't do that. I can accept the other explanations like the artificial eye, because like I said, it does make sense. And I'm also going to give the benefit of the doubt for her body or her lineage or whatever, because that could be explained. But I still find it a little bit bullshit that Erza can tank through Kyoka when she is in maximum sensitivity, when she couldn't even do that beforehand without the maximum sensitivity, and Kyoka was weaker. It just doesn't make sense. I'm sorry to tell you, I tried. I really did try. I talked with many people, but I just don't see it. Now, in conclusion, do I still like this arc? Yes. Very much so, but it is being carried with the emotional scenes, the plot twist, and just my love for the manga and the story overall. At times when watching the anime, it did feel like top tier, S tier of fairy tale, like GMG, Tenroshin, Laxus villain arc. But then again, like I said, the dull moments of this just makes it crash down. A comment asked me why I start uploading fairy tale less when it comes to the Tartaros arc, and I said I was sick. But it was also because the anime handled the fights pretty poorly, that it just didn't give me the same hype as it did when I was watching GMG or Tenroshin or the other arcs. Heck, even Edolas. No, this is to Edolas, I still like that arc. Now, does that mean I hate the studio? No. I'm still grateful that they decided to make an adaptation of this so that it can spread towards the mainstream audience more. And like I said, they handled the emotional scenes and the plot twist so well that they are what makes it peak fairy tale. But it's just when it comes to the fights, and it's a massive shame because the Tartaros arc is pretty action heavy. I mean, from what I've seen, there are people who weren't disappointed with the fights, who actually think that the fights were perfect in the anime. And I just wish I could have been one of them. But hey, that's just a theory, an anime theory, and I'm gonna get killed in the comments. So yeah, that's all my opinions on the Tartaros arc. That's all that I have to say. What do you guys think? Leave a comment down below if you agree or you disagree. So yeah, I just decided to do this before I start the next arc, which I've heard is also just as good, or maybe like not as good, but like still good. But I don't know, we'll have to see. I still enjoy fairy tale very much, so just because one of it is a disappointment doesn't mean I hate it all. So yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe, it's free, just blues, and comment to support because any support is welcome. And yeah, I guess that's it. Peace.